All right, guys. Friend of the podcast, Rams legend, cornerback LeRoy Irvin is back on the show. LeRoy, we are so excited to bring you on this. I know this is the first time Alexis is getting a chance to talk with you. Last time I saw you was at your birthday party, so just love having you back on, man. Hope all is well, and thanks again for joining us.
Hey, hey, man, anytime I can be on the show, I love it, man. Jake, man, you my dude, man. 60th birthday party, you were there, man. So whenever you need me to say something good or bad, I'll do it.
Well, I appreciate that, my man.
Yeah, and this is my first time getting to talk to you, and I've been really, really excited about this. So we follow each other on Twitter and have communicated on there, but this is my first time getting to, talk to you in a format like this. So I was really excited, and the first thing that we kind of wanted to talk to you about the biggest Rams news that come out this month, and that's the uniforms. So we just kind of wanted to hear your thoughts on the uniforms, and if maybe you saw a preview of the uniforms before they released, and how that went.
I don't know if Mercedes will ever change their logo. You know what I mean? I don't know if BMW will ever change their logo. I don't know if Cadillac or Ford or Coca-Cola or Pepsi will ever change their logo. I don't know if the Packers would ever change their logos. The Raiders went from Oakland to L.A. to Oakland to Las Vegas, and they didn't change the logo. So I don't understand the logo change, and I'm like a lot of players, especially my buddy Eric. We just don't think that – I don't like the logo. But I guess I got to deal with the logo. I don't work for the Rams. Rams don't pay me any money. I'm still a Rams fan, but, the logo separates the eras of people. In the 60s and 70s, there was a Deacon Jones logo with the colors. But that was because of TV. There was no there was only black and white TV. Then the Orange County or Anaheim Rams came, and we got the blue and gold. And then we go to St. Louis, and they change it. And we come back to L.A., and they change it. Now they're changing it again. So as players, we're separated by the logo. And we should be all on the same team.
Hey, I hear you, man. LeRoy, Alexis and I weren't too thrilled about the logos, but I'm actually really interested to hear your thoughts on the uniforms, because I know the uniforms, it's kind of hit or miss. I, for one, actually like them. I don't love them, and I do feel like they missed the mark. You can still like something and feel like it could have been better. And that's kind of like where I'm at. I know Alexis does not like the bone uniform. She really liked the idea of having just a crisp white color. But what were your thoughts as somebody that played in the greatest uniforms to ever exist in the NFL?
Just win. Just win. Just go to the playoffs. You know what I mean? Just win. Just because you wear a prom dress don't mean you're going to be the prom queen. Just win. They focusing on all these other things, the color of the uniform, the new design, all this kind of stuff. Is that going to buy you a win? Is that going to buy you a win? Is that going to buy you a running game? Huh? Is that going to buy you a secondary? You know what I mean? Is that going to buy you a kicker? It's not going to – just win, baby. Like Al Davis used to say, just win. We get so focused in, we're going to reinvent the wheel. We're going to reinvent the wheel. Like Fred Dryer was telling me, why are you guys trying to change what already works? So anyway, the uniforms, the Rams are the only team in the league, or maybe there's some more teams in the league that have 15 different uniform combinations. I mean, we had two. I mean, the Raiders got two. Cowboys got two. Green Bay Packers got two. The establishment franchises, the franchises, the Redskins, they got two. The establishment franchises, the ones that, are going to be here forever, they don't change their uniforms. I like the old uniforms. Go back to the Deacon Jones uniforms or go to the 80s Rams uniforms. But come on. You're going to dilly-dally with this and this and this. Just win some damn games.
I totally agree there. And, you bring up a really great point about winning, because I think that's what, most of us Rams fans is we're dying to win and we want to win as much as we can. And I think the first step, in any season, off season to winning is the draft. So I just was curious to ask you if you watched the draft and what your thoughts were on some of the players that we picked up, and especially on kind of the big name player that we picked, Cam Akers, who is the running back that we took 52nd overall.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. We signed Gurley for $50-some million. Okay, then we release him and still owe him $10 million. Okay, and then we go draft a running back. Okay, when there were a lot of free agent running backs out there. Then we give up all our picks for the cornerback from Jacksonville, and then we ain't even paid him. He is now franchise tagged. So salary cap wise, I think it kind of hurt us this year with the salary cap. Akers, he might be a good running back. Who knows? Teams don't run the football anymore anyway. So the running back position used to be the number one position on the team. Now it's not. And now it's receivers, it's cornerbacks, pass rushers, and quarterbacks. So the draft, I just think that we have to we pay too few guys too much money. I mean, Goff getting $30 million. I mean, really? But don't get me wrong, I love Jared Goff. I think you get whatever you can get, and that's what you get. But, I think the draft wasn't our best friend because we got rid of better players than we got. And that's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of crazy, this off season. I knew there was going to be a lot of change, but it seemed weird to kind of, go through an off season where you lose Todd Gurley and you lose Brandon Cooks and you don't bring back Corey Littleton. I do want to ask you your thoughts because I know linebackers were more respected back in the time that you played, and now it seems like that's not really the case. What do you think about the Rams' decision to not bring back Corey Littleton, which is by far, arguably, their weakest position on the entire team right now? What would you say about that?
Okay, it's about numbers, okay? You have a salary cap of $180 million. You're paying Goff $30. You're paying Donald $25. You know what I'm saying? And then you got a couple other players making $10 and $15. That's almost $80 million. And you got to pay 50 other guys $100 million. So you can't pay everybody. You just can't do that now. In my era, we didn't have this problem because there was no salary cap. But now with free agency and the salary cap, you can't pay everybody. You just can't pay everybody. And sometimes people have to go. And the unfortunate part about it is, you got Jalen Ramsey on an unfriendly cap hit. You got Gurley, which you still owe money to, and you're backed up against the cap, and you have to make tough decisions. How are you going to sign your rookies when you're right at the cap? So sometimes you have to subtract to gain. Littleton, man, what a class act that guy is, man. I've talked to him several times, man. I love him, man. He's a family guy, fan friendly, everything. But when it comes time to cutting bait, he was one of the guys you got to cut bait with, because in this day and age in football, it's a six DB set. It's 6 DBs, 4 linemen, and 1 linebacker. You know what I mean? So unless you're a great pass rusher and you're getting 8-10 sacks a year and you're making over $10 million, sometimes you just price yourself out of the market.
Yeah, definitely. You bring up some great points there. And this next question, forgive me if I butcher it, but I wanted to ask you, because I was curious to ask a defensive mind this question about the Rams' defensive scheme going into next year. We've seen in the past couple of years the Rams have played, 3 up front as opposed to 4, which is something that arguably we can do because we have Aaron Donald up there. But do you think going into next season, do you think the Rams should stick with that 3-4 or maybe go back to that 4-3 now that we are kind of thin at the linebacker position?
Well, since Wade Phillips is gone, okay, he liked the 3-4. But you got Donald, who's making $25 million. Okay, Donald making $25 million. Okay, you got rid of Talib. Now you have to make Donald earn his money. And the way you make him earn his money is you put him in a 4-3. You put him in a 4-3. You gotta run a 4-3. Okay, number one, you got to run a 4-3 because now you got Jalen Ramsey. You're paying $18 million to. You got to have him be a shutdown corner. Okay, and you got a secondary that's pretty good with Taylor Rapp and the other got kids. And so you go to a 4-3. You have less linebackers. You're gonna play 6 DBs anyway, 5 DBs most of the time. And so I think for sure the Rams go to a 4-3. They have to.
Yeah, now here's an interesting thing here, and I brought this up off the air, but you of course wore 47. You made 47 an iconic number in Rams history, and one of the UDFAs that the Rams added to their roster was Greg Reeves. Greg Reeves is somebody that has come on our show. He was somebody that was well respected coming out of South Florida. If there's anything, any words of encouragement or anything, what can you say to somebody like Greg Reeves that's taking up the mantle of, your number of 47?
I embrace any person, any DB that wears 47 on the Rams. They become my instant friend. And you know something? Here's how he can help me, okay? Here's how Mr. Reeves can help me. He can go out there and ball his butt off. And when the announcers talk about 47, they're going to say, damn, LeRoy Irvin used to wear 47. So I want him to do great. I want him to be the best Rams player in history wearing 47. Because you know why? As he goes up that ladder, I go up the ladder with him. And, hey, it's all about being recognized. So good luck to him. I'm in this corner. I hope I can meet him one day and talk to him because it'd be a pleasure for me.
That's awesome. I love that answer. And, we hope that he does that as well. We've talked to him a couple times and he's a really awesome guy. And, I was kind of curious to hear your thoughts. I think everyone right now is kind of, with everything going on in the world, we're wondering if there's going to be, fans in stadiums come football season. But I was just curious, SoFi Stadium, this was supposed to be the Rams' inaugural season in the new stadium. Have you seen it in person yet? And if so, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, because I know the construction crew has built it. And I know one thing, shit, I'd be out of business if I was staying cranky. They say it's going to cost $2 billion. Now they talking about I got to give them $4 billion more. I'll be like, okay, you guys, foreclose on me because I can't pay that $4 billion more. But I've seen the stadium. I think what the NFL needs to do is they need to invest in safety measures where every fan gets into, and we're proposing this to the Rams now. Eric Dickerson and I are proposing this to the Rams now, that we get face masks for everybody that comes in the stadium with hand sanitizers. And you have, everybody comes and gets a hand sanitizer and face mask. It's going to be difficult. You go every other seat, unless you're a family of 4 and you're together, but you space people out. You may not have as many fans in the stadium, but you eliminate a lot of the seats. Like one row for fans, next row empty. One row for fans, next row empty. If you start doing things like that, and you have protocols where you keep the players quarantined through the season. If they want to make their money, okay, they got to be quarantined with their families during the season, period. In a hotel, the Bonaventure, Wilshire, somewhere. We say, okay, look, the Rams are in this facility. We're quarantined. Whoever comes in the door, you do something like that. And I think they can still have the season because, you're in open air facilities, and maybe the owners don't make as much money, but they'll make more money with live TV.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you, LeRoy. I think, we're going to have to make sacrifices. If, we, the fans, the NFL, the players, I mean, the coaches, the sacrifices have to be made during this time. So I completely agree with you and ED. I think that's definitely the right approach. And I think, us fans in general would be totally okay with that because, at the end of the day, would you rather have the opportunity to go to a game and maybe, it's harder to get tickets because, there's limited seating and you have, your rows that are cut off? Or would you rather have no chance to go to any of the games this year and watch everything on TV and basically be forced to do so? I think people would, go with the first option. So I agree with you. Hey, we really appreciate you coming on, my man. We'll have to, of course, we'll keep in touch, but we'll have to check back on you, during the season. Do you have any final thoughts on the 2020 to 2021 LA Rams team coming into this season?
The problem is going to be, I think the Rams have a better opportunity than other teams with new coaching staffs and stuff because it's going to hurt the Rams if they don't have Wade. You know what I mean? Wade, man, I love Wade Phillips. They don't have him. It's going to hurt them because now you got to put in a defense that you can't practice. You know what I mean? And so
Absolutely.
You're going to go up against the 49ers, the Cardinals, and Seattle, who have the same systems in place. So they have to train their rookies on a new system. But you got the Rams with a lot of new questions, new defensive coordinator. Special teams is going to be different. New special teams coach. So a lot of the things that other teams are used to doing and are familiar with, the Rams aren't going to be familiar with. So it's going to hurt them early on, especially without the OTAs and the summer practice. They might get the season going, but it's going to be limited practices, limited opportunities to teach your guys what you want them to do. So it may be a little difficult for us coming out of the chute in the NFC West.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's something that, I've touched on as well, but, I'm excited to see everything play out. I'm ready for sports, especially football. So I can't wait for NFL season to come back around again. But thank you so much, LeRoy, for coming on the show. It was awesome talking to you. You're awesome, and you are welcome back anytime.
Hey, Alex. It's a pleasure talking to you, having a conversation with you. Jake, you're my guy. I'll be on anytime you want me on. Let's get Eric on here next time when we do this.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's get me and Eric on here at the same time. Let us banter back and forth.
Oh yes, we would love that. We've been trying to get Eric on. So if you could spread the word, we'd love to have him on.
I'll make it happen. For you, Jake, I'll make it happen.
Appreciate you, LeRoy. You
all right,
you
man.
be
Much
safe,
love,
man.
Hey, horns up. Horns
up.
All right, later. Bye.